at my age, to be honest with you. It really is. I recently turned 50 not too long ago. That's a thing that happened to me. Don't cheer for that. So it's still a little surreal for me personally. I really can't believe that I'm fucking 50 years old. You guys probably can, because I have noticed that other people are way less surprised that I'm 50 than I am. Like, I'm still shocked personally. I was like, I can't fucking believe it. When I tell other people that I'm 50, they're like, oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that checks out. Honey, he looks about 50, right? Maybe 55 even? These are the things that say to me, and it's very hurtful. But it is hard. It's hard for me to believe that I'm 50 years old. And I think part of the reason for that is when I was younger, like when I was growing up, I was kind of felt like I would probably have most of my shit together by about the age of 25 or so. That's what I used to think, that I'd be rolling, in my mid-20s. I figured I'd be well in my career at that point. I figured I probably would have met my soulmate, maybe married her by then. I figured maybe I'd be in my starter home, at that point, or at the very least like a very nice 2-bedroom apartment, something like that. These are all the things I thought I would have by the age of 25. And here I am at 50, and I have no fucking idea what I'm doing in my life. I really don't. I don't have any of those things, like none of it. Not even close. Like I'm still trying to figure out what my major is, Still trying to decide what I want to be when I grow up. I haven't met my soulmate yet, no matter how many churches and libraries I go into. And bars and strip clubs, that is cool. And I'm not in my starter home. I currently live in my parents' basement. So I am not even close to what I thought I would be at 25, let alone 50, to be honest with you. And it's a little sad when I stop to think about it, but luckily I don't stop to think about it very much. When I do, it's a little depressing. I don't know what went wrong. I really don't. But something somewhere went very wrong, because this is not by design at all. Like no one would really plan this life out. The craziest thing about being 50 though is I don't feel old. I don't. I still feel young. I feel like I'm a young person. I do. I feel like I'm a young person. Not in the mornings, really. Like in the mornings, I feel old. I wake in the mornings like my entire body hurts, and I struggle getting out of bed to find a reason to live. But so I do feel a little old in the mornings. But once I get through that, I'm good. Like I'm young the rest of the day. I'm a young person the rest of the day. Not at night, obviously. At night I'm old. And when I was younger, I used to go out like 5-6 nights a week. I'd get by on a couple hours of sleep, no problem. Now that I'm old, I'm like, Jesus Christ, is it 8:15? How am I still up? I gotta get my 10-11 hours. I'm gonna be a total piece of shit tomorrow. I gotta do it. I've got to do it. I lost it. Alright, where was I at? Yeah, this is the part of getting old. I got a piece of paper. Oh yeah, so I'm old in the mornings and I'm old at night. That's right. I'm old in the mornings and I'm old at night. So, but like the rest of the day, I feel like I'm still a young man, except maybe the afternoons. Because I do have a strong urge, like every afternoon, to take a nap, a solid 2 to 3 hour nap. I want that every afternoon of every day of my life. So that's kind of an old person thing. So I'm old in the mornings and at nights and a long stretch in the afternoons. It kind of bleeds into the late evening, to be honest with you. But other than that, I feel pretty young still. Basically there's like a 45-minute window from like 10:30 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. That's when I feel good. Like that's my sweet spot. If you meet me in that small window, you would never think that I was 50 years old. That is my promise to you. The worst part of getting old is that everything in life is harder now. Everything in life is harder now, and I don't really care for that, but it's just kind of true. Like everything in life is hard. Like driving is way harder now. I hate driving, especially driving at night. Driving at night is impossible. Like driving at night's the fucking worst. Every time I have to drive at night, I just assume I'm probably going to die at this point. That's what I assume. I try not to drive at night, but if I do have to drive at night, I try to reach out to all my loved ones before I go out. Make sure about all my affairs are in order. I clear my internet search history. Like, I really just think there's a good chance I might die at night. Not just at night. Like, if it's just cloudy during the day, I feel like I'm in real peril at that point. Reading small print is harder. Now that I'm older, I struggle with small print. If I have to read anything in small print, I have to take a picture of it on my phone and then blow it way up to be able to read it, which is awesome because it takes me like 3 years to read a fucking book right now. So that's fun. Learning new things is really hard. Now that I'm older, it's a struggle for me to learn new things, which is fun because I'm going through the fire with that right now because I did get a fairly new job recently. And I got a job in a field where I have zero experience and zero knowledge. So everything I have to do for this job, I have to learn. And it's a battle. Like I feel like I have the learning capabilities of a coma patient sometimes. I'm learning at a snail's pace, at best I'm at a snail's pace. I don't know if I've learned, I don't even know where to fucking park still at work. And I feel like they've told me where to park several times. But I can't remember, so I just park in the neighborhood a couple blocks away and pretend I walk to work. Because that feels easier than the truth for me. But it's hard. I've managed to learn things. Recently, they sent me to Chicago to take a class to try and learn new things there. I think they were basically just tired of trying to teach me shit themselves, and they're like, Jesus fucking Christ, go to Chicago, please. Maybe they can teach us some stuff. We're getting nowhere here. So I went to Chicago. I had to take a class in Chicago. I was trying to get certified in home automation. That was the class. It was a class about home automation. And if you know what home automation is, then you would have been way more prepared for this class than I was. Because I had no fucking idea. On day 2 of the class, I started crying in class. I was sitting there in class and I started crying. Not like bawling and making a scene, because I'm not a fucking baby, but my eyes did well up, and a single sad tear kind of ran down my sad cheek. And I was crying right in the middle of class, and I was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed at this point. Like I had no idea. I was a 50-year-old man in a classroom in Chicago, and I had no fucking idea what I was doing. The only 2 things I could think of was like, how the fuck did I get here, and how the fuck do I get out? I had several exit plans. I was going to crawl through the ceiling, the vents, down the elevator shaft, hit the sidewalk, and just run forever. I was going to run away forever. And I think it might have been fairly obvious, my struggles, because at the end of that second day, my instructor, he saw me leaving. He was like, oh, bye, Tony. He was like, see you tomorrow? Question mark? Like really big fucking question mark? Like the biggest fucking question mark you've ever seen in your life. He knew I was in over my head. I think he may have seen me crying earlier that day, actually. It's hard. It's hard to learn new things when you get older. It just is. Like, my advice to people is, like, try to learn all the important shit, like in 20s and 30s. Because it's a lot easier than trying to learn shit when you're old. It's hard to learn stuff when you're old. It's hard and it's terrifying. Like, it really is. It's fucking terrifying to try and learn new shit when you're old. And I know we all get on, like, social media sometimes, and you'll see a post where they have, like, all these people who weren't successful in life till they were old. They'll show you a picture of, like, Colonel Sanders, Sam Jackson, Julia Child. They're like, it's supposed to inspire you. You know, it's like, hey, don't ever give up. You know, it's never too late. Keep trying, keep trying. Don't be afraid to try new things. That's what they try to tell you. Well, I'm here to tell you, be afraid. Be very fucking afraid. Because it's hard. It's hard and it's scary to try and learn new things. And all those people, they just got lucky. They really did. And I promise you this, none of those people, not Sam Jackson, not Julia Child, not Colonel fucking Sanders, none of those people ever had to go to Chicago and take a class in home automation. I promise you that much. All right, thank you guys for coming out.